Welcome to Speak 79's Gaming Network. I am Speak 79, and today I'm going to be showing you how to play as the final boss on Killer Instinct Classic, Eyedol, for all three platforms: Arcade, Super Nintendo, and Xbox One. I'll also be using my custom button overlays to show you exactly what inputs you need for all three platforms. I'll also be going over color variations for Eyedol and the difference between the ROMs to play as Eyedol. If you have any questions, please comment in the comments section, and let's go ahead and jump right into the video. First, we're going to be starting off with the Arcade ROM 1.4. Now, this was the second ROM that was available in the arcade. There was a total of 3, but the first one did not let you play as Eyedol, while the last 2 did. Note that the last 2 ROMs are also available in the Xbox One version. So we're going to go ahead and start off by picking our character. We need to pick a Riptor for this ROM version, and if you go up or down on the joystick, you can change his color variation. That will also transfer over to Eyedol when you pick him. Alright, now that we're on the character ladder, we need to go ahead and hold to the left on the joystick, at the same time holding quick punch, quick kick, and medium punch. Then when we go over to the versus screen, now we want to hold right on the joystick, at the same time holding medium punch, fierce kick, and fierce punch. And when you hear it say Eyedol, you know that the code worked. Note that if you're playing on a 2-player versus, that you will only get the versus screen, and this whole button sequence can actually be done just on the versus screen, but it goes by quickly. If you're playing against the computer, it's a lot easier to do the 2-step process that I just showed you. Next on the list, we have the Arcade ROM 1.5D. This is the final version of Killer Instinct. And if you notice that there's an S in the corner, that's the beginning of my gamer tag. I actually got all the footage for this off of Xbox One. Unfortunately, I don't own my own Killer Instinct. Maybe someday. Alright, so first we're going to pick Cinder. And as you see, you can go up or down on the joystick like before, and it will change the color of Eyedol when you select him. Now on the character ladder here, I recommend holding right, because the rest of the sequence is going to be done in the versus screen, but it makes it a lot easier if you just hold right. And unlike before, when you were holding the buttons, this whole sequence is going to be taps, and you want to do it in the exact same sequence that I have on the screen here. Other note that when you're playing a 2-player versus, or when you're playing just against the computer, this whole sequence can also be done just on the versus screen. But I recommend, to make it easier on you, start holding right now. Now we have the versus screen, and you want to start the sequence. So it's going to be tap, quick punch, quick kick, fierce punch, medium kick, medium punch, and fierce kick, and then release the joystick. And you know this worked when you hear the game say Eyedol. Next, we have the Super Nintendo version. This one is actually a port of the Arcade ROM 1.5D, the final version of Killer Instinct. So first I'm going to show you the options so we can make sure that your button configuration is set to the default. So that's what my inputs are based off of. If for some reason if it doesn't work, check your button inputs and make sure they're on default. Alright, next we're going to go ahead and pick Cinder. And just like in the arcade, you can go up or down to change its color variation. So I do recommend holding right during that character ladder sequence, or you can just do it all here. So while holding right, you're going to tap left bumper, right bumper, X button, B button, Y button, A button, and then release the right D-pad. And you know that it worked when you hear the game say Eyedol. Next we have the Xbox One Classic 1.4 version that is a port of the 1.4 arcade ROM. In the Xbox menu it will be up there as Classic version. So same as before, we want to go ahead and select Riptor, and you want to hold left on the joystick at the same time holding X, A, and Y. And then when we switch over to the versus screen, we want to change our inputs to holding right on the joystick at the same time holding Y, right trigger, and right bumper. Now this is the default button configuration, so if for some reason if this is not working for you, put your button configuration to default. And you know it works when you hear the game say idle. Next we have the final version for the Xbox One 1.5D. In the menu this will show up as final version. And like before, we want to go ahead and select Cinder as our character. And then I do recommend holding right now, and then we get over to the versus screen, we'll tap all these buttons in sequence. Alright, now that we're in the versus screen, while still holding right on your joystick or your D-pad, you want to tap X, A, right bumper, B, Y, right trigger, and then release right on the joystick or on your D-pad. And then when you hear the game say idle, you know that it worked. Well, that's the video, guys. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope that answered all your questions about how to play as Eyedol on all three platforms of Killer Instinct Classic. If you do have any other questions or anything to add to the video, please comment in the comment section. I also appreciate a like and a subscribe. It does help out the channel to grow. I will also be putting this up on the website True Achievements as an achievement guide to Killer Instinct on the Xbox One for people who need to know how to change an idol. And I'll leave you guys with some bonus footage from Pinballden of him doing the 80 hit combo with Eyedol, and then at the end doing the other variation of the air juggle. So thank you for watching and have a great day.
Supreme victory!